how can a new mortgage broker get leads without referrals? Because we can't rely on referrals. Let's unpack that in this video today. So I've got my notes in front of me. The first thing you need to understand when it comes to referral, well, to getting leads, is there are 3 types of leads. And we talk about this in the Mortgage Business Mastery System. So the 3 types of leads is brand, demand, and referral. Okay, we need to understand those first. Now we're going to remove referral from the equation so we can only get brand and demand. That is really at the beginning, as a new advisor, you're not going to have any referral leads, not truly anyway, because you haven't done any business to anyone. Referrals only really come from people who have worked with you in the past and then referred you on because you've done a good job. Now that's different to like estate agency introducers, and we're going to unpack that in this video. But realistically, you can focus on brand leads is going to be your biggest thing, brand and demand. So what is brand? Brand is people who don't know you right when they find you online, they don't know you, they see you online and they start to like you online or offline, but they hear about you and they build trust before they actually need you. But they didn't get referred by anybody, they just found you. Demand is people who found you at the point when they need you, so they don't have as much trust built into them because they need a mortgage right now. That's like an instant demand lead. So this is going to be something like an estate agency lead, an introducer lead. That's going to be a demand lead. We call it referrals. It's not a referral. It's a referral in the sense of the word that, but it's not a true referral in how we would do it in the system. So your main type of leads as a mortgage broker when you first start out, especially in that first year, especially in the 6 months maybe, is going to be demand, not even brand. It's going to be all demand, okay? So how do you do it? Well, let's talk about leveraging brand first. So the first thing you want to start doing is you want to start building your brand from the beginning. Now, bonus points, if you are like even doing your CMAP right now, starting to like build your brand at that point, even better. So how do you build brand? You start making content. You pick up your phone and you start making video specifically, not like written posts, not Canva posts, none of that rubbish. Nothing wrong with it. Well, no, let's just call it what it is. It doesn't work, okay? And the reason why does it not work? It doesn't work to the same extent is because you want people to know, like, and trust you. And the great thing about video is that they hear your voice, they see your face, and it effectively clones you. So you as an advisor need to be the person that people, they need to see you and think of you as their advisor. And it's only going to happen if you do it through video. So you need to start right now and get confident on camera. Now, if you feel like you cannot go on camera because you are, I'm so nervous or I feel self-conscious, I'm going to tell you something that no one's going to tell you. And that is tough. All right, just tough. Go and do a different job. Very polarizing thing to say that, because everyone else is going to placate you and say, no, it's okay. You don't need to do it. It's fine. No, I am telling you right now, that is not going to be the case. If you want this to be a career, you don't need to worry about AI. You need to worry about not being on camera. That is the world we live in now. If you're going to go into a self-employed role and you are not willing to promote yourself online, then go and be an employee. I hate to say it, but it's true. And I'm fed up of everyone telling you, you can go and do Canva, you can do this. No, you can't. All that stuff is really good once you're an established brand and you're looking to try and do other things to maybe maintain a business page, but to try and get people to know, like, and trust you and build that brand that they like and they want to work with you, guess what? Video is the only way. You need to do video. So pull up your big boy pants and put your big boy pants, big girl pants, and start making video content. The next thing you need to do is you need to network. You need to go out and get people to know you, okay? Go out and get people to know you. Now, one of the things people don't realize this is something I have seen. Again, some harsh truths we're going to be dropping in this episode today. One of the things I've noticed, and I'll just honestly, I fall into this category too, is that in the negative side, is that the people who are very successful at the very beginning, not always like throughout, but at the very beginning, who come out of the gate swinging and really smash it, are people who have large social circles. They are known by many people before they ever actually did mortgages. This single-handedly is one of the biggest indicators of whether someone's going to be successful right out of the gate, is how big their social circle is. So guess who does, a spider crawling across my wall, brilliant. Guess who does well? Who does well is usually, not always, but usually, mums of children around an age of primary school, because they are at the gates picking up the kids or seeing it like in the parties, all this type of stuff. And also nearly all women are way more sociable than men. Men are rubbish at talking to people a lot of the time. So usually mums who are quite sociable in large social circles within that primary school age, they normally smash it. Also, though, people who have, like I said, big social circles, someone who is maybe not got children, but they're part of a large friendship circle, they're maybe a pillar of the community. The men who do well within this usually are going to be people who normally play a team sport. It could be one of those, but guys are less likely to build larger friendship circles who will then support them in their own businesses. Don't know why. I've done this long enough. Doesn't make sense to me, but it just is. Women seem to be way better at supporting their friends and their peers when it comes to these type of things than men, but that is going to be one of the biggest indicators. So if you're somebody who doesn't have a large social circle, hands up, that's me. When I first started out, it's going to be tough because all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait a minute, I am going to make money from the people who need their mortgage done, and it's only by the people who know me, and wait a minute, I don't really socialize with lots of people. I have a small group of very close friends, and that is it. And all my friends are friends with me, but they're not friends with each other. So it's like, I'm close with him, and I'm close with him, and I'm close with him. It's like 3 friends. None of them are friends together. I know them from different points in my life. Well, guess what? That is a recipe for disaster when it comes to trying to build my business. And some of you, men and women, will be listening to this going, yeah, that's me, Ash. I'm not telling you it's the doom and the gloom and the end of the world, but I'm going to tell you that that's going to be a big indicator of to whether or not you may see other people or who are part of your network or anything like that and go, like in the mortgage network, and you go, why are they so successful straight out the gate than me? That's probably because of that. Okay, it could be a big part of that. If they've got a large social circle, one of my most successful clients I've worked with was very, very involved in a church. And because she was involved in a church and she was involved in the youth part of the church, it was massive. She did super well straight out of the gate. So be prepared to know that you need to network and be known. If you are not a social butterfly, you need to start to become one in some way or another. It's awkward. I hate it, but it's just part and parcel of the job. Now, it doesn't mean you need to be false or fake, but it does mean you need to network. So how do you do that? Well, go and maybe join local things you can be involved in, anything like that, any team sports, any type of event, any type of committee. If you can be involved, the more involved you're going to be, the more networking you're going to be, the better it's going to be. Now, there's an element of this where people say, go and do something like a BNI, some sort of networking meeting. They're okay. They are okay to a point, but there is always an alternative motive for being there. So everybody knows I'm here because I want business. So that's great. And if you get a good chapter, wonderful. But if you don't, then people are always trying to sell their stuff. But being involved in the community is going to get you seen more. It's going to generate more leads in a normal way. So school fetes, fun runs, sponsorship of local things, being somebody that people know. And it doesn't have to be your local village or town community. Any community that you think that you could leverage to make business, that's something you should be considering, okay? And that could be a weird, obscure hobby. I'm into retro video gaming. That could be that if you wanted to. Could be anything. But you need to find somewhere where you can become the person that they go, oh, I need a mortgage, and they'll come to you. But you need to build a social circle. Very, 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 very important, okay? You need to be known. Now, one of the other things with this, when it comes to brand, is that you need to make sure, and this is a big one, this is some harsh truths in this episode today. A big one with this is your Facebook profile is going to be usually one of the biggest things you can use at the beginning. Your Facebook profile, make it public. Don't set it to private. Add everybody you went to primary school with, high school with, sixth form with, university with, worked with. Go back through, add them. Add them like crazy. Why? Because they will all need mortgages. The more people you have on your Facebook friend circle, they're going to get, again, this is a digital version of the physical thing we spoke about earlier about being friends. Go out and make friends with all the people you knew. I'm not saying add people you don't know. I'm not saying that at all. That's not going to work. But add people that you did know. And do this before you start pitching about mortgages. These people all need mortgages. I was in performing arts. I also have gone to 3. I went to sixth form. I went to a couple of different performing arts colleges. I went to 2 secondary schools. I get people reaching out to me from all walks of my both career and education, still to this day asking for mortgage advice, even though I haven't done mortgages for nearly 7 years. It is literally a goldmine once you're in there. I think I've got about 5,000 followers / friends on Facebook. I did that, and one of the biggest mistakes I did was unfollow loads of them when I first started because I was like, I just want a small group of friends. Again, That's that mistake. You need to be known. If you are not known, you're not going to be successful. Personal accounts are important. They need to be public. If they're private, how on earth are they going to find you? Another thing we don't talk about. If they're private, why are they going to find you? Instagram's the same. Any of your social media accounts, don't go and build some obscure business page and you think you're going to build something to make it nice and pretty. No. Leverage what you have, because that at the beginning as an advisor, that's all you're selling. All you're selling is, I'm a mortgage advisor. I'm me. You know me. You like me. I can do mortgages now. That's it. You're not building some big fancy business. Do that in a couple of years' time once you've established something. This is how you're going to generate leads at the beginning. That's how you're going to generate that brand and demand. Because at the beginning, people are going to start, when you start doing this, people will go, oh, I need a mortgage. That's a demand lead. I'll speak to you. Or they're going to go, I'll watch you. I don't need a mortgage yet, but I think I'm going to think about it. When I do need a mortgage, you're going to be the only person I need. That's how you get those brand and demand leads. As time goes on, they will start to come back and refer on each other, and that's great. But that's how you do it. Everyone will tell you that you can do it in other ways, but I can tell you categorically, this is the way to do it. Do not get caught up in any other of the rubbishy stuff that happens. Now, if you want to learn how to really hit the ground running as a mortgage broker, check out my new broker success playbook. It's a course that you can do that goes through 5 modules to help you smash it in that first year. It's in the description. Go and check it out.